Hey, how's it going, everyone? I just want to do a quick video reading an interaction I had with a friend of mine who I went to college with, undergrad, and he's an engineer, just like me. He studied computer engineering, I studied electrical, but we had a lot of similar classes, and I've known him for years, and now he's a pilot and an instructor in the military, and it's just to me a strong evidence of flat Earth is sort of embedded in this conversation, and a lot of things that are not said to me are profound for me, and then also a comment that he makes to me is supportive of flat Earth. So I just start the exchange off. Let's see what date this was. This was in July 2017 that I reached out to him through LinkedIn. I'm like, I just say his name, exclamation mark, how are you, man? Quick question for you. He's like, I am good, hope all is well. I'm like, curious if you account for the Earth's curvature in your instruction / flying. He's like, not at all. Point to point distance as a line drawn on a map. I'm just reading this word for word. Okay, thank you, that is what I thought. We are not traveling, this is him now saying, we are not traveling over the surface of the Earth, traveling at altitude above surface, in my opinion, not a factor. So you probably already know that the Earth is actually flat. So now I'm kind of just, being tongue in cheek. And then I sent him Eric Dubé's documentary, and all he sent back was a thumbs up. So he didn't say no or anything like that. And then I sent him the video, 4 commercial airline pilots admit the Earth is flat. And he just says, haha. And I'm like, it's flat, buddy, it's obvious. And then he says, this to me is actually probably the most profound thing of the whole exchange. He's like, still not convinced. And so then I know he has a religious disposition, so I sent him 216 Bible verses in 7 minutes that show the Earth is flat, and from the Flat Earth Doctrine channel. And then I sent him, a couple of my videos. Then I sent him the Monterey Bay observation, and I'm like, any further thoughts? And he's like, nope. So, I have another friend who's an amateur pilot who has never thought about it before. He's somebody who's been in the atmosphere in a plane many times, and has a very, very good vantage point, and what one would think would understand this and learn about this. And now this person in particular is actually an instructor, so one would think that he would be even more aware of the geometry of the structure that he's flying over. And both of them are engineers, and so they're I'm not saying you have to, an engineer makes you smart, but they're people who care about details. They obviously are flying, so you don't just get into a plane and start kind of just figuring things out, after you get up there, kind of thing. Yeah, we'll figure out, the path, up there, and stuff spinning and moving, you don't have to really think about that, that type of thing. That's not the case. These people are, this one in particular is doing it for his vocation, to make a living, and then also in defense. Other people's lives are at stake. So it's like, there's many levels to this that ensure that this person is rigorous, and thorough in what they're pursuing, and certainly flying. And so, his statement at the beginning, where he's like, point to point distance as a line, that's the important word, drawn on a map, not an arc drawn on a globe. So that's very, very important. But I think the most powerful statement for me was actually later, when he said, still not convinced. This person, and this is not a shot to him, because obviously I respect him and his accomplishments, but should be giving me hundreds, thousands of points that support that we're on a spinning ball, as far as where it is in their training, in their accounting for all this kind of stuff. There should be just a non-stop, just a litany of points that he would hit me with. And this is not, a stranger, this is someone that I know. And so they would correct this, this potentially erroneous thinking that the Earth is flat. And so, to me, this is, this supersedes, for me personally, everything that I hear from any other pilot or people who claim that they fly. I don't think people like Bob the Science Guy are pilots. They just take a picture, in a plane and claim that they're pilots. These people are just liars, and deceivers. But this, I just put this out there. I'm not going to, release his name, but I'm not even sure if he would care actually that much because, he's still, I guess, a ball earther. I don't think he's really allowed to kind of go against the narrative, even if he did now realize that it is flat, and my other closer friend who's an amateur pilot never thought about it once, and he hasn't come back with anything, that it's not flat and stationary. So to me, it's what people don't say that is becoming very, very clear in these days, where truth is embedded. And so I just put that out there, that I have two friends that I know well, that both fly, and this one flies regularly, and they've never thought about it, and to me that is a flat earth proof, because if the earth is stationary and flat, that is exactly what this individual said is what they assume when they fly. And then and it's not in any of their training or manuals or documentation or anything that they can cite. It's flat. Hope everyone's doing well. Bye.